So when you're writing your conclusion, the final paragraph of your essay, you need to take it a step further at this point in your academic writing. So why do you write a conclusion? You do it to return to a main image or the main point, to give an opinion or a judgment, or to emphasize insight noted in the essay. So maybe you really had a strong paragraph. You need to bring those things back up in your conclusion. You need three things in your conclusion. You need a link that connects you back to the main idea, a link development, again developing the idea further, similar to a body paragraph, and then a concluding statement that satisfies the need for closure. You should stay focused. You should keep this, same tone as throughout your essay, and keep in mind your purpose. Are you informing, explaining, entertaining? You guys are persuading in this particular essay. So the frame. The frame refers to the image. So if you use imagery or a strong statement or something in your introduction paragraph, you're bringing that back up in your conclusion. Expansion is a second way to do this. Encourages the reader to think further about the topic. And then a summary. For long and complicated essays, you can restate the main points. So in the frame, you're going to have a link. My parents were visibly shaken when I discovered I'd almost fallen into the big ditch. And so the introduction of this essay probably talked about that the big ditch and how the kid almost fell in, and it probably went into detail. They later realized how vulnerable I was, yet could not always protect me. Later, my family discussions about dangers that children faced and how to avoid them helped me to understand what I should and should not do. Also, seeing my parents' worried looks every time I rode my bicycle down the street stuck in my mind. Their admonitions look both ways. Don't talk to the strangers. Stay familiar in territory. Kept me safe while I played with my neighborhood. In my neighborhood, my parents and I learned from this experience, however, that no matter how many rules or safeguards they devise, children can't be put under a glass case like fragile figurines. And that's my development. Most of that was addressed in this narrative essay. However, they bring it back up, just expanding on the information. Concluding statement, children must learn ultimately how to protect themselves in unpredictable worlds. All right, here's another one. You can read to yourself the link. Whether people strike up conversation when anyone will listen or curl up inside themselves, crowded environments bring out personality traits we can identify in strangers. So that's our link to our thesis, our link back to the introduction. They develop that understanding that the chatty woman next to us is simply relieving stress, so they use a scenario. And then the concluding statement are different responses or tools we use to survive in uncomfortable environments we all endure from time to time. So the link and the concluding statement are really just two rewordings of the thesis. Rewordings, not restating, we have to reword it all together. In an expansion, there are some ways you can expand. You can reflect on a thoughtful statement you had during your essay. You can ask a question to make the reader think, but then answer your question. You could make a call to action in your conclusion. Suggest the reader take action regarding your topic. You can make a judgment about your topic or illustrate your topic and how it affects people. You would pick one of these ways to use the expansion strategy, which is our second way of writing a conclusion. The frame is the first. So frame is here. Expansion strategies are the 5 different choices. A summary, use these for long, complicated essays. You get to restate your main points. Still a good idea to use one of the expanding strategies with your summary, so that you're kind of using summary with expansion, one of those 5 traits along with your summary strategy. So a concluding points to remember when writing your final paragraph. Be direct and confident in your conclusion, not apologetic. Be accurate and avoid using absolute statements which would alienate readers who have different opinions than yours. The conclusion should flow smoothly from the essay and reflect what the essay is about. Don't begin a new topic or take the reader in a new direction. And the length of the conclusion depends on the length of your essay. So if you have 6 paragraphs up to this point, you should have at least 5 to 10 sentences in your conclusion.